Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? So much better. So we started last week with some new songs, and you learned them a little bit last week. You're going to learn them some more this week. You're going to recognize this one from Eddie Watkins. This is We Come Together. And stay standing if you'd like for this next song called Join Together. This one's really easy. We're all going to sing this together. 1, 2, 3. We are brothers, we are sisters, join together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, join together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, join together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, join together in love. Love, 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 join together in love. All right, we're going to break it down. Here we go. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. Sing it with us. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. Here we go. Peace, 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 together in peace. Peace, peace, join together in peace, join together in peace, join together in peace. Thank you, and how about a wonderful round of applause for our band this morning?
Wow. If that doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. Wow, that was beautiful. Grand Rising, beloveds. I know there's a few people here that haven't been here before, so we say our yearly theme is Grand Rising, which is just a little step above good morning. So just about the same, but it means have a great day. Have a great day. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley in beautiful San Clemente. And, you know, it's fall now. Isn't it nice and cool? I looked at my mom yesterday as we were driving through, 100-degree weather. I said, yeah, summer finally made it. Here we are. Summer's here. Oh, my gosh, you never know. But it happens every year. But we love it all. And I'm so delighted that you decided to join us this morning for our wonderful service and celebration of Sunday. My name is Judy Chapman, and I am your assistant minister, and I am just delighted as heck to be here. So we are a trans-denominational center, which simply means that we are all-inclusive. And we love everyone to love each other. And gosh, what else can I say? We're just happy you're here. So we start the service with a ceremony called the Flames of Faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all people, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence that we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and the practices of all indigenous peoples. The way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and the path of peace. We light the candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as our practitioner, Bonnie Charney, lights that last candle, please let it represent the path that brought you here this morning. And now please join me for 2 minutes of sacred silence.
I invite you to continue in this moment of silence. Becoming centered and remaining there. And as our song implied, love, peace, and joy are the way we all come together in this blessed place. And knowing that there is only the Divine One, which is the source and is the essence of love, peace, and grace. I know that each beloved here, present in the sanctuary, and each beloved, wherever they may be joining us technologically, are true manifestations of love, joy, peace, and grace. And for this, we are all united in our appreciation of our musicians, our singers, our ministers, and the wisdom that is about to be shared with us today. That each divine being is reinforced to know that they are love, peace, joy, and grace. And that these qualities are poured out through each individual into our world. And in this knowing, I release my word to the law, knowing the law always says, yes, my beloved. And if you agree, please join me in saying, and so it is. Thank you. Our global vision, now this is a part of our global vision, and the whole global vision is printed in the foyer if you're interested. Please join with me and meaningfully think about what we're about to share. We see a world that works for all, where humanity rediscovers personal creative power, where we live as one global family. Communities are involved in meaningful service to the world, and where there is peace, harmony, and justice for all. Today's affirmation: the divine in me recognizes and values the divine in you, and so it is. May I put the microphone back now?
Yes, because this one's working now. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Well, I am really delighted to have this person back as our guest vocalist. She always just brings such beautiful energy and inspiration to us. So please give a warm welcome to Kristen Lee Allred.
This one doesn't want to work. Hi, good morning. It's nice to see everybody again. Thank you again for having me. And it's awesome to work with this fantastic band. Woo! Getting ready to share a song with you called Messy and Magical that I wrote as part of the record that I'm creating this year about being a spiritual being having a human experience. The last day ever might be today. I'm owning who I am in a whole new way. And my horoscope said things are looking up. Just need a little hope and some pixie dust. I'm here for the enchantment and the mystery, living in the spirit technicolor. Let's give ourselves permission just to have some fun, 'cause we only get so many trips round the sun. We're not perfect, and that's okay. Who needs perfect anyway? Oh, 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 we're messy and magical. When no one's looking, I lick the spoon. Who does it? Eat cookies for dinner, lay in bed till noon. I'm here for the adventure and the mystery, living in the spirit technicolor dream. Let's give ourselves permission just to have some fun, 'cause we only get so many trips round the sun. We're not perfect, and that's okay. Who needs perfect anyway? Oh, 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 we're messy and magical. I wear my bunny slippers to the 5 and dime. Been known to burst into song in the checkout line. I'm taking each moment and making it mine. We're not perfect, and that's okay. Who needs perfect anyway? Oh, 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 we're messy and magical. Don't change one thing about who you are. You wouldn't change a shooting star. Oh, 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 we're messy and magical. Woo! We're not perfect, and that's okay. Who needs perfect anyway? Oh, 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 we're messy and magical. Thank you so much. Thank you. Messy and magical.
Messy and magical. Let's give messy and magical Kristen another hand. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. I love the creativity and the uniqueness you bring to our sanctuary. Thank you. Yes. Well, Grand Rising, everyone. As Grand Rising, yes. And as Reverend Judy said, our theme this year is Grand Rising, and we're looking at what that really means. If you were to go into the Caribbean, you would hear that as the average greeting that they give each other in that culture. And so we're adopting it this year. We're looking at how we can really step into a bigger way of being, a grand way of being. And we're looking at our philosophy and the things that we teach in this philosophy about how we can step into a more conscious and grander experience. I do want to mention that we have a class coming up. It is the Inward Journey, and it's 3 9-week sessions that'll go all through next year, and it really is about that grand rising. If you are interested in taking that class, please speak with me. There are some prerequisites for that class, but as a whole, it is a deeper dive into our own journey along the path of this philosophy. And so I encourage you to consider it if you're thinking about it. As I said, we have this year-long theme, and we chunk it down by month. And so this month we're talking about pieces into peace. And last week we talked about this idea of inner peace. And so if you'll change the slide, Mary. And today's topic is waking up into oneness. And so I've really looked at the trajectory of the different themes and topics for this month, and I really see it as a pathway to peace. I see that there's last week we looked at ourselves, the work that we have to do to get grounded in our own inner peace. And there's this great quote from the founder of Centers for Spiritual Living, Ernest Holmes, and he writes in this thing called You, when you become confused, stop and listen to your inner calm. Turn from the confusion to that deeper something within and say, I am submerged in peace. I am surrounded by peace. I am immersed in peace. There is nothing but peace. Deep, deep, calm, undisturbed peace. And so there's this, I gave you an assignment, if some of you might have had the opportunity to do that in the busy day-to-day life that we all lead, of spending some time in nature so that you could have that opportunity to allow nature to reflect back to you that inner peace that already lives in you, and to have an opportunity to have a greater revelation of that. And so now this week, we take it to the next step on the pathway to peace, and that is looking at our relationships, you and me. How do we work in those relationships? And so you can change the slide, right? So here we are in the next continuum of looking at you and me, looking at those personal relationships we have, looking at how sometimes, and I love using this word because it describes it as none other, and that is that sometimes in our relationships we other. And oftentimes we use that to describe a noun, but I'm using it as a verb. We other. And what that means is that we get so wrapped up in othering other people. We get so wrapped up in our judgments. We get so wrapped up in the things that we're thinking about that we allow ourselves to drop down into this deep belief of separation. And one of the key principles in our philosophy is oneness. Now, obviously, there are a number of people in this room. Clearly, there is a you and there is a me. But what we know about oneness is that it speaks to the more of who we are individually. That the oneness that we're looking at is the oneness that is true of each one of us. That thing that makes the grass grow, that thing that animates our body, that thing that coordinates all life, if you will, at some level, is common to each one of us. And in that commonality, we are one. It's a big concept. Sometimes it takes some time to get your head wrapped around it. If you're on the 5 in LA, oneness is sometimes hard to come by, right? Because there's a lot of people around you. I remember when I was first invited to come down here and apply for your position as your senior minister, we were coming down the Grapevine and into 5 and into the metropolitan area, and my partner at the time turned to me and said, "There's 10 lanes of traffic." What the heck? There's a lot of people here. And so it's easy to, I'll say it this way, become unconscious and step into our othering, to begin to look around us and see our differences. Heck, we were brought up, I don't know about you, but my kids watched Sesame Street. And, one of these things is not like the other. Come on, you could sing it if I asked you to, right? One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. I'm stopping. Right. Right. You know the tune. We were brought up with this idea. We've been domesticated to look for differences, to look for separation. But when you show up in a philosophy like this, we're going to ask you to suspend your training, if you will, as a human being in this culture, and to look at life a little differently. When we started our services today, in the middle of the song, we did something called a namaste. And that is a traditional Eastern greeting where the divine in me honors and recognizes the divine in you. It is intrinsic to this message about our relationships and finding peace in those relationships as we move through our day-to-day with them. Let's see. A lot of times when we step into this action or this behavior of othering, it stems from a place of not feeling protected or safe. We don't necessarily recognize that right at the moment, but behind it, underneath it, is usually some kind of protective behavior that we step into when something is not working for us, when it's messy. But when it's messy, it's also magical. Because there is something happening. There is an opportunity for us to begin to be more present with each other. Yet, I don't know about you, but in my, when I was coming up, that wasn't how I was brought up. I was brought up when I was in conflict that I was gonna, we talked about this last month, I think, I was gonna freeze, flee, or flight. I was gonna, check out, withdraw. But when we come to those places in our relationships that are not peaceful, right? We're experiencing some rub, some conflict, some trigger. It really is an opportunity for us to see what's underneath that. And I think that it really calls for us to exercise the practice of forgiveness. Now, forgiveness has gotten a great deal of press in the last 20 years. It's pretty much there was a time when that was, when you thought about forgiveness, it was like, who do I have to say I'm sorry to? But forgiveness is so much more than the transactional, I'm sorry when something goes south. Forgiveness is transformational. Forgiveness is an act and a behavior and something we can lean into to shift the experience that we're having. Now, I don't know about you, but it seems like I have more and more places to practice this forgiveness. And I have, in my relationships with others, in my relationship with clients and clientele, in my relationship with family. Oh boy, that is the place where I can really exercise my forgiveness muscle. Right, my forgiveness muscle. Let me see those guns, right? Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about forgiveness and to look at it as more of an opportunity to transform ourselves and an opportunity for us to really step into, just like I reappropriated that term othering into a verb, I want to look at forgiveness as a spiritual practice, not just a transaction to reduce conflict or to find some way to be able to work with each other on the surface. And I love how the Course in Miracles talks about forgiveness. And if you're familiar with the Course in Miracles, it came out in the 70s, and it was a channeled document that was channeled through a woman who was brought up as a Jewish woman, and yet here she was receiving this download from I would say, metaphysical Christian perspective. And when you look at A Course in Miracles, what you find is that it's steeped in forgiveness, and it's steeped in this idea that in order for us to let go of the surfacey places we are in life where we get attached and we have the conflict, in order to find that greater peace, forgiveness is the mechanism that brings us back to love. It is the mechanism that reminds us who we really are. That I can never be truly separate from you. You can never truly be separate from each other. That indeed we are individuals that are connected at a deep, intrinsic, mystical level. And the Course offers 3 different steps to finding inner peace. As a matter of fact, the organization that holds the copyright on that material is called the Inner Peace Foundation. And those steps are really simple. When we find ourselves in a place of unease, when we find ourselves in a place of conflict, we can first look at and acknowledge that the outward picture that we see around us is a reflection of our inward condition. It's the outward experience that we have with others is a reflection of our inward condition. And so therefore we need to acknowledge the judgments that we have. Or as Brene Brown likes to say, she likes to start, when she's exploring the judgments that she has, she likes to say, the story I'm telling myself is, right? Because we're always telling ourselves a story. We're always making up, we're trying to fill in the gaps, we're dealing with our preconceived notions, we're working with our perceptions. And this is the story that we make up that often is the thing that hooks us into and lights up our triggers when we are having that experience of challenges and not being in peace with each other. The Course goes on to say that the second step is to begin to look at the inner condition that comes from our belief in separation. So first we acknowledge that we're making up a story, and then we recognize that that story is steeped in a lie. It's steeped in a lie that we're separate, that we aren't united, that we aren't all God in form having a human experience. And so if we can do those two, if we can pause long enough, if we can step back from whatever the emotional upheaval is that comes forward for us, then we can begin to have a greater revelation, if you will, with what's underneath our belief in separation and the judgments and the storytelling that comes up around that. And then finally, the Course says we experience peace when we become conscious of our belief in the illusion of separation and how our judgments bring us to that. And so I want to illustrate that in a story. Last week I told you I had just come back from a vacation with my family. We have a long history. It's been almost 30 years. We've been going to the same beach on the East Coast. I'm originally from the East Coast, and so, you know, it reminds me of all the experiences I've had with family on vacation. And I pause for a minute as you think about the vacations you've had with family. Oftentimes they're wonderful. And then there's the places where we rub up against each other, right? Because we're with family, and that's the place where we can begin to feel safe enough to let our guard down and let it all hang out. And I will tell you that my sister and I had a very contentious relationship growing up. And by the time, you know, we were in our 20s, we were living, 400 miles apart, and that would not have surprised anyone. But as we matured, we decided we wanted to have a relationship, and so we started this tradition of vacationing together every summer. And it was a wonderful experience at first, and then we started rubbing into our past behaviors and our judgments, and it's the kind of like when you stub your toe and you act like you broke your leg, like we metaphorically. And so there was this, I guess we were in our third or fourth year in this new ritual that we had of vacationing together. My sister it was her and her husband's turn to make dinner, and they were preparing dinner, and we got into a fight. And it seemed like a very insignificant thing that brought up this knockdown, drag-out fight. We got into a fight over a piece of cheese. Apparently, I'm not going to get into it. It was a piece of cheese. So we shared some words. I got storming mad. I grabbed my car keys and I stormed out of the house as everybody was sitting down for dinner. I'm 400 miles from home. Where was I going to go? So I start, I'm just going to drive into town, and I'm driving down the road, and I'm driving mad. And suddenly I realize I've missed a turn somewhere. And I come to this dead end, and I'm still fuming, and I look up to see where I'm at, and I'm not making this up. The street sign said, "Make peace way." Make peace way. I was incredulous. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I even said out loud, "It's not funny, God." And of course, when all this happened, I was on my spiritual path, and so I'm learning what it means to be more conscious. And I say, okay, I'll take a hint, but I'm not ready to go home yet, right? I'm still in my judgment. I'm still in my angst and my triggers. I'm still looking at this overreaction I had to our exchange. And so I decided to drive into town and have dinner and settle down a little bit and really reflect on my part in it and how silly it was. It's like I came back after dinner, everything was settled, and my sister and I did make peace. But it wasn't like I came in and we pretended like nothing happened, because that's what happens a lot of times, isn't it? That's how we make peace. We pretend like the exchange didn't happen and we just make nice. That's the thing I love about my sister. She won't let me get away with that. She's conscious too. She's on this path as well. And so we ended up sitting down and really exploring the past behaviors that led to this projection, if you will, and this overreaction. And I will tell you that is probably the pivotal place in our relationship where we began to do the work of unbundling our judgments and being conscious about what was ours and being willing to be honest with each other and explore it and come to a place that's peaceful. I learned that here. I learned that in a center just like this. And today I will tell you, my favorite person in the world, Lonnie Chavez, my sister. We're very close. And that's because we were willing. I'm going to say it's because of that street sign. Make peace way. And what I can tell you is when you find yourself in relationships and you find yourself in a place where it feels like there is no way through, the divine always provides a way through. The divine always gives us street signs, signals that if we pay attention to them, we will know which way to go. You're not in this alone. You have the principles of this philosophy. You have the power and the presence of the thing that animates your body temple and all the world around you that is cheering for you. Now, I don't want to, personify that thing that makes the grass grow, but I do know that this thing we refer to as spirit, God, divine, it only wants to create and give of itself. That's another principle of this philosophy that we study, that there is a power that's moving through us that wants to create and give of itself. And that thing itself, as Ernest Holmes refers to it, as I like to refer to it as God or the divine, it's not a reflection of our human self. No, that would be projecting again. No, that divine essence in its purest form gives us an opportunity to find it in us. And when we have these things called relationships, it is a wonderful opportunity to tease out all the obstructions, all the judgments, all the stories that we place between ourselves and the divine in the form of humanity. Yeah. Now, when you're in the middle of being triggered, I'm not going to walk up to you and say, you're being triggered. That person's God too. But what I want to suggest is that you allow your emotions to complete themselves. You allow your feelings to complete themselves so you can pause long enough to recognize and see your judgments and to remember that everything is a projection, that this, my teacher used to say that it's just a fun house of mirrors. We are projecting ourselves onto each other when we don't see our oneness. And so this what may seem like an elusive idea of oneness is actually very accessible to us. And it's accessible to us through our willingness to suspend our judgments in our story and to pause, to remember that there is no exception. God recreates itself in all of life. And so that person, that family member that you're struggling with, they're struggling too. I think it's important to recognize that when we can pause, when we're in conflict, when we're struggling with a relationship, and we're reaching for forgiveness, that doesn't always mean that I'm going to give you a pass because you're doing harm. That's not what I'm talking about at all. But what I am talking about is stepping away and pausing and getting clear so that you'll be guided by the divine for what's yours to do. And sometimes what's yours to do will be to step outside of that relationship. Sometimes what's yours to do will change the way you communicate in that relationship. Sometimes what's yours to do is to limit your association with that person so that you can step away and get that perspective of oneness. And the tricky thing about a world that works for all is that the person you're in conflict with, it's got to work for them too. It's not just a world that works for me. Boy, if this was easy, everyone would be doing it, right? But it's so worthwhile. My illustration of my relationship with my sister, now we have such a deep relationship, and it came from forgiveness. And it wasn't about me saying I'm sorry, although I did say I was sorry because I was her big sister. And if you're a second or third in the birth order, you know what a pain, literally, big siblings can be. So I did have some apologizing to do, but what I really had to do was amend my relationship with her. And I did that through forgiveness. And I did that through a willingness to see her differently and to see my part in it so that I could really come to a place of peace and waking up to oneness. And when we can do that in those most contentious relationships, then we start to step out of that little circle into those other relationships. And next week, Reverend Karen will be talking about that. So my invitation to you is really to take a page out of Brene Brown's strategy. And when you are in that place where you're getting all spun up in a personal relationship, ask yourself this question, or begin to, as you reflect on what you're experiencing, start with the story I'm telling myself. And then identify if it's really real or if there's another perspective that you could embrace. and that will be one more step closer on our pathway to peace. Thank you very much. And so we do this thing called affirmative prayer. And so I'm going to do an affirmative prayer right now. And if you'll join me, I invite you to simply close your eyes and take it in, knowing that there is a power and a presence that is everywhere present, that there is no exceptions to the presencing of the divine in all of life, in the things that we love and the things that we don't love so much. God is present. So we recognize this amazing, powerful, creative, loving beingness that wants to experience life by means of us. And we allow ourselves to recognize that creative power in ourselves as well, that there can be no separation if there's only oneness. And so we dissolve the ideas of separation. We allow ourselves to be one with the divine nature in life. And we use that as our guidepost, the thing that helps us know what is the next thing to do. And so I trust as we move through this week, as we consider what it is that we want to transform, we allow ourselves to see forgiveness as a way to transform the situation. And we're not doing it alone. We have this philosophy, this community, our other conscious friends, and our own inner peace to draw from. And so I know this week, as we explore our stories and our judgments and are willing to see things from a different perspective, that we are guided, guarded, and protected. That the highest good comes forward with ease, with grace, and tangibly. So we anchor ourselves in this highest truth, knowing that there is a presence that is moving in as and through us. We allow ourselves to be that peace that wants to show up in the world today as humanity. We start right where we are. We trust the process. We let go and surrender. And we accept the greater peace that wants to be known. I give great thanks for this ability to be conscious in any situation, to know when it is mine to detach, to let go, to trust God. And it is with a thankful and willing heart that I simply anchor this prayer in that power that makes the grass grow and the stars revolve in the universe, knowing that anything is possible. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you very much. And now I want to bring back our wonderful band and our soloist, Kristen. Come on up.
Everybody feeling good? This is a song about our infinite potential. Sometimes we forget, but we truly are a diamond in our own backyard. This is a song I wrote called Shooting Star. Just go ahead and get into it and we'll do it. Yeah. I was excited. They want to get the show on the road. I love it. Put your hands together. How can you shine when you're treated like a stone out in this crazy world on your own? Don't you know that the haters gonna hate, 'cause that's what they do. But you are fierce and you are strong. You have the power all along. Take a breath, go easy on yourself and keep pushing through. You do you, boo. No one can you know by heart. There's no way to measure just how beautiful you are. If you could see how bright you glow, stop seeking validation from the status quo. You're a diamond in your own backyard. So much to discover, a kaleidoscope of color. All the dreams you have inside, closer than you realize. I see the light in you, 'cause I see a talent in me too. We only get one life, we only get one chance. Let's kick off our shoes and dance. If life is a journey and we are all seekers, take that sick beat, bust it out the speakers. If life is a journey and we are all seekers, take that sick beat. Alright! Don't you know that you're a shooting star? Hear all the songs you know by heart. There's no way to measure just how beautiful you are. If you could see how bright you glow, stop seeking validation from the status quo. You're a diamond in your own backyard. 'Cause this is why we here to vibe and thrive. And the truth is nobody's getting out of line. So why we act so serious? Why the heck can't we learn to trust? Out the window vision isn't always clear. You want the moon and all of the stars, so don't quit now. You come so far. Everything is unfolding so perfectly. You gotta just believe. Oh, come on, play it, man. You guys got it going on.
Like you do. Great. Let's give her another hand. Kristen Lee Allred, thank you so much. And thank you so much to our excellent band. You are dynamic. Fabulous. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And what about those songbirds? They were sounded so great today. So great. Ah, yes, we have all good things going on. It's time for our conscious committed giving. If the stewards would come forward, please. I found this today in I was going through my bookshelf and I found this quote from Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese holy man. There is no distinction between the one who gives, the one who receives, and the gift itself. Thich Nhat Hanh. Well, that's profound, I think. So if this is your day to give, thank you very much. If you are online, you can go to our website and donate that way. If you if today's not your day to give, please give your blessing. There's a card in the chair in front of you, and it says, "In deep gratitude for all of my blessings, I place this card in the basket. I ask that these offerings be blessed, appreciated, and multiplied. It is my honor to give my blessing in this way. Thank you, God, universe, and spirit." So let us say our prosperity affirmation together. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply, and it symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply.
Show me the way, you sing. Show me the way, show me the way. Your love will light the way. Show me the way, show me the way. Your joy will light the way. This time a little louder, we sing. Show me the way, show me the way. Your peace will light the way. And we sing together. Sing it out. Na, 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 namaste. Na, 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 namaste. Nama, 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 namaste.
As these gifts go out into our community, we know that they are blessed by the receiver and the giver, and that all is well, and so it is. Thank you. Okay. If you are a guest here for the first time, we have a gift for you. It is a coupon in a bag, and you can take it to the bookstore and get a free book. So please raise your hand, and we'll bring it right to you. There we go. Thank you. I met them this morning. I'm so happy you came this morning. Yes. Let's give our guests a hand. Thank you for joining us. We're blessed by your presence, for sure. We have volunteers all week, all month, that keep this center moving like a well-greased, what do they call it? Wheel? Machine. There it is. I know it was a grease something. Anyway, if you volunteered this week in any way, shape, or form, please stand and we can give you some love. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then if the practitioners would stay standing, these are the people trained in the art and the science of religious science, science of mind, and of prayer. We call it spiritual mind treatment, and we call it affirmative prayer, whatever you want to call it, what we give you. And this morning we have 3 practitioners, Patrick Freeman, Cheryl Lyman, and Bonnie Charney. And Cheryl has been holding the high watch for us the entire service. And what does that mean? That means she's been praying for all of us this entire service to open our minds and open our hearts so that we can receive all the wisdom and all the inspiration that we need to get this day rolling. So thank you to our practitioners. They're available after the service for you if you would like prayer. 2 at the back table and 1 in the tranquility room. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, that's me. Oh, we've changed the deal, so now I have to get my invitations. I forgot. What's that? You want the band to play? Oh, yeah, you know, what's his name? Clark always got this grand intro. That's all right, I don't need one. Yeah, a little bit of drums. That's good. Perfect. Oh, now I feel welcome. Yes. I'm going to give the announcements. And, you know, we have so many wonderful things happening at this center all the time, every week. There's so many different, if you can't drive at night, there's stuff in the day. If you don't want to get up in the morning, there's stuff at night. Online, by Zoom, in person, everything. So after today, Conscious Connection will meet today at noon in the multipurpose room to have a conversation about Dr. Alice's message this morning. So you can join them. The yoga classes will begin again this week, 6 to 7 p.m. on Monday, the night, and then 10 to 11 a.m. on Tuesday in the morning. So you can attend one or the other. And our center is hosting a fine arts exhibition in-house on September 14th here. And there will be an artist reception from 6 to 8 p.m. on Saturday the 14th. Now, pay attention. You need to RSVP for this because they're going to provide us, you know, hors d'oeuvres and things. So please let Reverend Arpad know, let Mary know, and online, and you can do it online. Let them know that you will be coming for that wonderful event. Everyone is invited, and refreshments will be served. Oh, can you tell this is new for me? Yeah. It will be fabulous. It's on September the 14th. And the art will be here until the 27th of September. And one of the artists has generously offered to pay for childcare for this event. So childcare will be here. And so if you are going to bring your children, they would like to know. So if you could please let somebody know online that you will be bringing your children. Dr. Alice will be teaching advanced conscious studies in the inward journey beginning September 25th. It's a 27-week course that she talked about it this morning, and it's taught in 9-week sessions. Classes will be on Wednesday, 10:30 in the morning until 12:30, in person or on Zoom. You can register for this class online. This course is the first year for practitioner studies. Anyone who wants to take this class is a deep dive into the science of mind philosophy and has taken the prerequisite courses that may take this class, and you can check with Dr. Alice if you are eligible to take this. And the weekly group meetings. Wednesday with Mary book study is not happening until September 18th. Wednesday evening, the meditation group with Dr. Christian Steele meets here at 6 o'clock on Wednesday night until 8. And Thursday morning, we have Shifting Sands. Everyone is welcome to that. 10:30 in the morning to 12:30 in the multipurpose room. And Friday morning, the support group with Joyce Fournier begins on Zoom at 9 a.m. We've been doing that now for 15 years. And 8 a.m. 8 a.m., yes. 8 a.m. Friday morning. And 4 of the people have moved away. Massachusetts, Oregon, Colorado. but we all still meet because we meet on Zoom, and it's just wonderful. Okay, there's so many different things for us to do, and if you want to take home all of these things I talked about, may probably be clearer if you read it yourself. One of these is in the foyer. And now, songbirds.
And we are ready to sing our closing song, We Are One. Many of you are familiar with this one as well. Feel free to sing along. Let's stand together. Here we go. We are one, we are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity we all live in harmony, and peace has come, 'cause we are one. We sing it again. We are one, we are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity we all live in harmony, and peace has come, 'cause we are one. And peace has come, 'cause we are one. And peace has come, 'cause we are one.
And so know with me now, the God in me sees the God in everyone else everywhere I look, and so it is.